welcome to the Backyard Machine Shop. Well guys, wanted to shoot a little video kind of updating the status of the shop. And I think I shot some videos a year or so back, or a few months back, and I called them shop status, and that's what we're going to do here. We're going to do a shop status. And first of all, I want to let you know about my dad and my mom. My dad, he's well, let's do my mom first. My mom, she's home. She's out of the wheelchair. She's walking around her own. She's doing real well. Still got a little bit of soreness in her foot, and she can't walk very far distances, but she is able to get around the house pretty good. My dad, we brought him home about a week ago, and which it's been really nice. He's gotten a lot stronger. Actually, to me, he's better than he was when he went into the hospital. However, he's still having some issues. We're trying to get him to a point where he can have surgery, and he's got bladder cancer, and he's got a really progressive, really bad case of bladder cancer. And so that's, other than the cancer and not being able to relieve himself like he needs to, he's in pretty good shape, but the pain gets him down. I mean, he spent 8 weeks in the hospital, and for 6 of those 8 weeks, he really couldn't even get out of bed. So now he's up, he can get around. I've walked with him out in the yard a little bit. He's having a little bit of a problem right now, but we plan on him getting better. So appreciate the prayers for him, and I'm asking you to keep him in your prayers. It's still keeping me busy, but I'm just having to go down to spending the time at their house instead of spending the time with my mom and then the other time with my dad at the hospital. So I spent the better part of those, I'd say between me and my sister, we've spent maybe 4 or 5 days that we weren't at the hospital. One of us wasn't at the hospital with him around the clock. So work's been really busy. We've gotten behind with the hurricane that came up, and so that's kind of limited my time also. But I did get the day out here, kind of done some cleaning up, moved some stuff around, and I bet you guessing why I'm sitting in a lawnmower in the shop. Well, this is our next project, or my next project is to fix up this Exmark lawnmower. Now, when I got it, I've been looking for one for a couple years to replace the mower I had, and I wanted to, I'd like to go out and buy a new one, but these Exmarks run between $4,500 and $15,000. So that's a little more money than I can afford. I couldn't even afford to use one. They run, one like this one costs, $4,500 or so used. So I've been looking around for a couple years for a used one that's a candidate for a rebuild. Well, I found one here local. This was owned by a yard service or landscape service, and they really put a beating on it. They blew the motor up in it, and a friend of mine got a hold of it, and he's had it for a couple years, and he's never going to do anything with it, so he let me have it. Like I said, it's got a blown motor, and it had a Kohler engine in it. And what we're going to do is we're going to fit a Predator 670 into it. Now, when I got this, I thought that might be a really, really easy swap, but there's going to have to be some parts machined. The Predator motor is a little bit different setup than the Kohler motor. But anyway, I'm going to try to do this as a quality rebuild on it, but at least expensive as possible. I've never messed with the Kohler engines. I read about them. Everybody likes them. Not Kohler, but the Predator engines. And really and truly, I'm going to give it a shot. So. But anyway, I've spent most of the last week or so, when I had time, measuring and laying out and doing drafting, or making up prints. And today I spent a bunch of the day measuring, making sure how everything's got to go and what needs to be machined. So there's going to be 3 or 4 parts we need to either machine or modify by machining them. I noticed today I took the mower out and pressure washed it the other day, and today I noticed that there's a little oil leak in one of the pumps, so we're going to have to pull the pump out and rebuild a pump or two. We'll probably pull both of them and rebuild both of them. So it's going to be an interesting interesting thing. I got the seat out, you notice, sitting here in a metal seat, but I got it being reupholstered. The deck's sitting outside. It's in really good shape. A little bit of surface rust in it. We're going to take and go out there and bust that off of it and clean it up and throw some paint on it in the rusty areas where it won't rust back up. So the Pratt & Whitney lathe, I'm hoping to get back on it pretty soon. I've actually done a little work on it. I just didn't shoot video. Right now it's sitting in here rusting up because with the weather we've had lately, with the storm and the temperature dropping, everything out here sweated pretty bad in that time period, and I haven't been in here to keep anything clean, so it's in pretty bad shape. So like I said, just wanted to touch bases with you guys and let you know about my parents. They were getting better, to kind of show you what the next project's going to be, and hopefully I can start on it in the next few days in doing the machine work. I got everything prepped, all the materials. I ordered the seal kit today for the pumps, and other than that, I think it's going to go pretty smooth. So, all right, guys. Well, I guess that's about a wrap. But before I go, I want to thank all my new subscribers and all the people that leave comments, all my old subscribers, the few that's over there on the Patreon. I really appreciate it. You know, I'm letting that build up and trying to make use it to make purchases of old machinery. I haven't bought anything recently. I'd had an opportunity to buy a couple things, but and with all as busy as I've been, I haven't been able to really close any deals. So, with that said, for the Backyard Machine Shop, so long.